Hello, everybody. Welcome to our 100K celebration. If you would like to grow as an artist and you can't afford an art class, we've got everything you need here at Art Prof: critiques, tutorials, and professional development. How did we get here? I don't know what happened, but we did something right. And Lauren and Alex, you were here at the dawn of time. Alex, what's this feel like?
It feels surreal. Yeah, it's not a word that I overuse. It feels very surreal, especially just reminiscing with you about what it was like at the way back times. And just, yeah, 7 years to get here is bananas.
Lauren, what were we doing that first year? I don't even remember.
We went to that art center that's in Massachusetts, and we had a little portfolio review, and we took pictures, and we also went to a Blick, and we talked to like 3 people and got pictures that made us look really official. We're like, oh wow, yeah, we're really doing so well.
By the way, Dara is noting how convenient Jordan isn't here for the wet charcoal. We have evidence of what Jordan is doing right now. He is on a plane flying in to San Francisco, and so you can't give him a hard time for that. However, we do have a clip that we're going to show you that Jordan sent in advance.
Thank you all so much for supporting Art Prof and giving us 100,000 subscribers. It's really amazing. We really appreciate it. So I'm sorry I can't be there for the celebration. I'm traveling at the moment, but I did want to give you all a little surprise. You all say that you want me to try wet charcoal. I don't own charcoal. So what I have here is some graphite that I've shaved down just for you in a wet piece of paper. There you go.
So sassy.
I don't think I've ever seen Jordan be so salty before. They're usually so like polite.
So much salt. Real salt corner there.
We could all just become divas now because we're at 100K. Yeah, like, I don't want to do that.
You can say no. Jordan is demonstrating healthy boundaries.
So what about you, Deepti? Has your ego gone sky high now that we're at 100K?
Oh my gosh, I think I've been humbled actually once we hit 100K because I had to do something equally as awful for me. But yeah, I don't know, 100K is crazy. I haven't even wrapped my head around it yet. It's been 5 years for me on the Art Prof team, I think, and the journey we've had is so wild, and reminiscing on it is wild, and I can't wait to see what it'll be like in 5 more years. Hopefully we'll be at 100 million bajillion. Who knows?
Well, Kat, I believe you are the Art Prof baby amongst the staff. You're the most recent addition. And even in the short amount of time you've been with us, we've changed a lot. How have you seen that progress, and even just the last little bit you've been here?
It has been quite tumultuous. I didn't expect so many changes to happen in such a short amount of time. So for everyone here to know, I have been an official TA for 2 years, but I have been an intern back in 2016, I think. So even back then, I still got like a sense of how drastically different it was about 5 years ago compared to now.
And by the way, speaking of that embarrassing moment that Deepti mentioned, I think we got to take a look at it right now. Ready?
Hey, Art Prof fam. As promised, I will be doing something for you to show how happy I am. Here we go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and I don't know the rest of the words, and I hate singing, clap your hands. Yay, 100K. Thanks, everyone.
You ready for Broadway, Deepti?
No, I never wanted it.
You can add that to your audition reel.
I think I'm gonna leave it out. I think.
No.
Excuse me while I just mute myself and go scream in a corner. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
You made me realize I don't know the words to that song either. So.
Yeah, I was recording it and I was like, wait.
If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Next time Kat will do the singing, I will stick to what I know, which is not singing.
But Deepti, what if that one clip is what gets Dev Patel to leave his girlfriend for you? I mean, you got to take risks here, right? You want to put yourself out there.
I mean, and now it is out there, so let's see. Let's see what happens. If that does happen, then I'll reassess how good I am at singing.
Kath Buena is noting that we have 101,000 subscribers now. Lauren, can you tell everybody what happened that got us that 1,000 subscribers in a day?
Yes, us elderly people at Art Prof have gotten into the TikTok, and apparently there are lots of people on the TikTok, and they all like Art Prof, so they all came to YouTube.
It's all pretty lit, really.
Oh, God. Not, Alex, not.
You know, you guys are all old now. You're in the old club just with me.
I know. I can no longer understand people that are younger than me. It's a bad world.
Well, Chase says, Lauren talking about TikTok is making me laugh so hard. I'm 22, but I talk about it the same way.
Thank you.
And Blue Wolf wants to know about the TikTok. Is that related to the, quote, Google machine? Well, I remember the search engine before Google. Does anybody here remember Metacrawler?
Oh,
what is that?
It was the search engine we used. And I remember my brother called me up. He's like, you should try this new search engine called Google. I think it's going to be a lot better than Metacrawler.
I think Netscape had a search engine, maybe.
I remember that.
I was
search engine for animals. I liked Firefox. Sorry.
Well, would you all like to see what art media Alex doesn't like? Because Alex has a thing about a certain material. Let's take a look.
I'm going to be doing a little drawing just for you all. Certainly not for me, using my least favorite medium, a little vine charcoal. I want to clarify, I like the way it looks, but when it hits the paper, it makes like a sound that's like grating on your teeth, like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh my God, did you hear that? Oh, I hate this. I love the way it looks, but I just can't.
You know what? That's all I got in me.
I love the trombone.
Yeah, I think the music really makes that, and the horrible charcoal sound. I agree, that's awful.
Yeah, I was like, it's not going to be that bad. And I was like,
Reverse
like
ASMR.
I was going to say anti-ASMR.
Well, speaking of progress, we've all come a long way, because I was talking to a friend today that being on camera is really hard, and it actually is a skill that you have to cultivate. Deepti, have you noticed that as you've shot tons of video over the years?
Yeah, I mean, we're shooting like in your old house, Clara, 5 years ago, and there were so many things that we just didn't know how to do. And I think now we understand how to streamline the process, but also how to have better on-camera presence. We all go through a checklist before we start all of our streams to make sure that we're not talking over each other or saying filler words. You know, there's a lot that goes into it that we just didn't realize 5 years ago. And I think through practice, we've really come to have better on-screen presence and also just be more concise. It's completely different than teaching in a classroom, that's for sure.
Well, let's take a look at my learning curve in terms of camera presence. This is one of our very first videos that we ever produced. It was made in 2015. Erasers are indispensable drawing tools. They're not just for removing mistakes. With a new kneaded eraser, you want to take the eraser and you're going to pull it out and stretch it as if it were a piece of silly putty to make it nice and soft and malleable. You can even take the eraser and you can sculpt it into a specific shape to suit your needs. Oh my God.
Wow.
That hurts.
Is that even your real voice?
Yeah,
Whose
I was
voice is that?
No.
This
very,
is like
emergency exits to the front and back of the car.
This video is like Art Prof lore now. It's history.
Wait, isn't the kneaded eraser video one of the top videos on our YouTube though? Everybody watches the kneaded.
I'm not sure. I mean, we have a couple of the old videos that are about a minute about art supplies. I just kept them there because they had views and I thought, oh, well, this will be entertaining. People can see what a long way we've come. But yeah, I mean, some of them have views, which is hilarious to me because they're really bad.
Yeah, you sound like an infomercial.
No, it's really, really bad. Like Sortenly says, that's an old video. She didn't even mention Wolverine. I know, I went like a whole video without mentioning one of my men. It's like, what's going on?
Your hair.
And Alice in Wonderland says, Professor Lieu's teaching voice. I didn't teach like that at RISD, did I?
No,
you were much more
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah,
you were
I
evil.
concur. Uh-huh.
Think of it's like all of the energy that you have now, except it was dark, evil Clara with Clara roast.
Me, I'm not that mean.
Look, Clara, you were mean to us first in the classroom.
Hey, you guys see what it's like trying to get respect from smart-ass art school students who think they know everything, and see how you behave in the classroom.
Yeah, you did the right thing.
Yeah.
See? Like, Lauren, you would have eaten me alive if I hadn't put my foot down.
No, I took your class because you put your foot down so I could eat you alive.
Oh my goodness.
I'm here for a challenge.
Have a question from HP Kokak. You all get stage fright nervous when doing a live stream. Kat, why don't you take that?
I used to, but as the more streams I did, I got less and less nervous. But it also depends on the subject matter. I remember Deepti and Clara did a stream about cultural appropriation, and that one actually made me quite nervous because it was a huge, deep, heavy topic, and that made me nervous. But when it's a draw along and I feel like I'm hanging out a little bit more and I don't have to think too deep until someone in the chat prompts me to, then I feel less nervous and I feel more like I'm hanging out with friends.
Alex, how about you? Do you get nervous before streams, even though we've done so many of them at this point?
I still do, like, every single time right before it's like, okay, go. And then the second we start, it all like washes away. It's like what I imagine jumping out of an airplane is, like, every single time.
Lauren, still get the jitters?
This is the only type of performing where I don't get the jitters. I mean, I did it first, but yeah, this is just us hanging out as friends. Believe it or not, every other type of public speaking thing I have to do, I'm terrified. I want to hide in a corner.
And I'm curious, Deepti, as much as we've done so many of these streams, do you find what we're doing still challenges you in a way?
Yeah, definitely, because I think we address so many topics and all of us are, educated on certain things and less educated on others. So sometimes we're thrown on a stream where I feel like, not as strong with its technical skill or talking about what we're talking about. So I think with all of it, we're still students in a way. So I think that's challenging, and also communicating things in a way that's digestible is challenging. But I think the performance aspect of it gets easier and easier. And a huge part of that is because our community, we have so many familiar faces, and now it just feels like not only like we're hanging out with each other, but we're hanging out with you guys, which feels like really supportive and nice to do.
Janet says, I would be very nervous drawing in front of a camera. Okay, so the speaking thing is one thing, but the drawing live thing is a whole other can of worms. Alex, you just recently started doing the draw-alongs because we had a phenomenal donor that provided the funds we needed to purchase all of the equipment. So I know for you, that's a fairly new experience. Are you finding it challenging to draw live?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous for the first one because I never, in all my years, never time my work. I never record how long it takes me to do things. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of sit down and do the stuff, but I never am aware if it's going well. So it felt I was worried after the whole stream, be like, okay, so everything I just did, don't do any of that. This was just me warming up. But yeah, I don't know. Kind of like y'all were saying, it felt much more once I started painting live, it felt like just hanging out again. It felt like working in the studio on a late night.
By the way, we just had 2 super chats come in. Thank you so much to Jill Kama and also to RB Dick for your support. We greatly appreciate it, because that's one thing about Art Prof that I think has been very challenging for us is basically, I'm sorry to be dramatic, but staying alive. Because when you don't have revenue, you have a lot of expenses like equipment and paying staff and monthly fees and trying to get everything up and running. I mean, we're hanging in there, but we do need your support to keep this going. And I know a lot of people think I'm crazy. I definitely have had people say to me, what? How do you make money? I'm like, we don't. We're just trying to stay alive. Kat, has that been unusual? I know you've worked for like big companies where, they're probably swimming in cash, but how is this different?
I feel more like myself when I work for Art Prof, because Art Prof does stand for a lot of ideals that I believe in. If I'm working in a big company, I'm just part of the crowd. I have to earn money. I have to support myself. I have to think for myself in those cases. But an Art Prof is such a giving community that it comes more naturally to me, and maybe other people in the artist community don't understand what we're doing here at Art Prof, but I think what resonates with me and also with the Art Prof family is important, and I'm so happy to be here.
Tara says the only art channel I have the guts to communicate on streams. Well, Deepti, I feel like through the Discord is where we really have developed strong relationships with our family here, because yes, we have the YouTube chat and we love that part of it, but the Discord's a whole other side of it. So Deepti, what is it about the community that you think is special? Because to my knowledge, there is not another community that is so giving to other people. There's so many Facebook groups where it's like, post my artwork and run, and nobody really wants to give back. And yet I see a very different dynamic here.
Yeah, our Discord community is one of the most supportive and encouraging communities I've ever been a part of. And I think a lot of that is because we have some amazing moderators who make sure that the work you get posted gets critiqued in a way that's educational and helpful for you moving forward. We have channels not only about your artwork, but about wellness and just making friends. And it's such an active Discord. We have so many members, and everyone there is just so kind to one another. I've never really encountered anything that wasn't just a heartwarming experience. And on top of that, us, when we're doing these live streams, we're also, talking, and there's a lot going on. So we aren't able to engage as intensely as we do on the Discord, where we really can do voice channels there and really engage with people in a very intimate way, which I think is super exciting for us to get to know our community.
Thank you so much, Ariel, for the super sticker. We greatly appreciate your support. And by the way, there's a very special still that's coming at the end of the stream. So you're going to want to stick around for that, because let's just say I used some of my Photoshop skills for very productive reasons. But until then, we're going to take a look at Kat do something that's a little bit out of her comfort zone.
Hi, Art Prof family. Thank you for 100,000 subscribers. Today, I will do a very messy finger painting. As an additional challenge, I'll be using my left hand, and normally I am right-handed. I'll be drawing my 2 characters here. I'll be using red and green paint, which in my opinion are the worst colors to work with because they always look like Christmas.
Yikes.
That's so cute.
I was just waiting for your cat's tail to get in the paint. I was so hoping for it the entire time.
It
I
could have
don't know what I
happened.
would have said if you brought that into Crit Cat.
I'd get ripped apart if I brought that in. People would probably laugh with me and at me.
So Dara is asking, how can you support Art Prof if you don't have the financial means to do that? So Lauren, what can people do to help out? Because there's a lot you can do beyond supporting us on Patreon.
Yes, you really can. First, the biggest thing is to tell a friend or subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Recommending us, spreading us out there in the world. That helps us with our passive or with our ads, with getting more people there, a way to, you know, interact with art tutorials and critiques and all that stuff. You can, what are other things? I'm blanking right now. That's the biggest one. I always just share Art Prof with everyone else. I'm like, yay, that's it.
Like the video, leave a comment. Any type of engagement that you post on YouTube helps us with those YouTube gods. I mean, maybe they'll be nicer to us now that we're at 100K. But people don't realize that YouTube fluctuates, that actually the monetization, it doesn't stay the same. In fact, it goes up and down. And so we never really know any given month what our funding is going to be. I mean, we have multiple revenue streams, like you can buy merch from us, you can even purchase artwork that we make on the live streams. But I think a lot of people have said to me, oh, you're all set because you've got YouTube. I'm like, no, it's not that consistent. So we need your help in all of those different places. Let's take a look at what I did for my little art challenge coming up right now. I'm going to commit my own artistic deadly sins. I'm going to measure out however units wide Andrew Loomis is telling me the human figure is. Oh, that makes my head hurt. I think you all know that I'm not a fan of the sausage triangle cylinder block person for figure drawing. Oh, this hurts me. Oh, terrible. How did people learn anatomy this way?
Wow, those were really ugly, Clara.
I mean, I confess I made them ugly on purpose because I don't want anybody thinking that's a legit way to study anatomy.
No, I was like, wow, she's finally got it after all these years. Clara.
I'd love to have Jordan's commentary on that.
Well, Jordan really likes Andrew Loomis, and there's honestly no problem with that. I mean, I recognize very much that some people really benefit from his lessons. I do not, but it's just all about exposing yourself to a lot of different approaches and then deciding on your own, okay, which is the way that's really going to work for me. So I'm not trying to say don't use Andrew Loomis. I'm just saying that I don't like Andrew Loomis.
Good.
Let's see. We have a super chat from Pony. Thank you so much for your support. We greatly appreciate it. And I think I might have missed. Oh, wow. There's another from Pony.
Rainbow. There's
another from Pony.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
What?
Rainbow.
Oh my God. I'm so impressed.
I love it. It's a
Wait,
rainbow.
one more just came in. Look all the way at the bottom. We got one more.
It's all the colors of the rainbow. No, there's no green. Why does it go from red to red?
Oh, Lauren.
That's all I care about. Thank you, Pony.
Also, congrats on having Patsy Stone as your YouTube icon. Congrats to that.
Well, thank you so much, Pony. That is so wonderful to have your
very
support. And you know, when I read comments from all of you, it's a big lift because I'm not going to lie. It's hard to run a platform like this with no revenue and lots of expenses. But when I get your support and I read those testimonials, I go, Clara, you have to work harder. You have to do more because all these people are waiting for this content and you have to do it. And by the way, Lauren, made a little clip, so let's take a look at that.
Thank you so much for helping Art Prof reach 100,000 subscribers. You've challenged me to make a Blandy Mirandy style painting, so here I go, complete with all of the grays and the browns and the neutrals and the still life tchotchke object. Hope you enjoy, because I sure didn't.
That was lovely.
Yeah, that was a nice painting.
Yeah.
You look so distressed, Lauren.
It was very, very challenging. It hurt me
I
inside.
think it wasn't that bland though, Lauren. I thought it had some nice colors.
This is the problem. All the paints, they look gray when I make them, but then they're not actually gray when you put them together. It's
Wow,
well,
it's like
it's a
color
curse.
theory or something.
We'll never make a truly neutral painting.
By the way, thank you so much to Cosba Life for the super sticker. We greatly appreciate your support. And another comment from Katya, who says, I'm 100% paying you guys back once I get a job. I've learned so much from you that it's basically become priceless. All my friends have loved your channel. We all owe you so many, quote, ones. Well, the comments, everything matters. It's all about the interactivity. And I confess I was gloating the other day because I read a comment on a competing art channel where somebody complained about the lack of interactivity in their critiques and how they wished there was more interaction with the actual instructors. And I was like, well, we've got that covered here, right? Well, here's a question. Kat, why do you think that interactivity is so important? Because there are plenty of channels, you put out the stuff, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But to me, the interactivity is another level of commitment.
Right. Well, I think that watching a YouTube video is so cold and distant, and people would want to be a part of that interaction, first of all. And second of all, I think art is all about community. I mean, yes, it is about making pretty things and meaningful things and visual things, but I often joke with my friends that after art school, it was really the friends I made along the way that I benefited the most from that community. And I think that goes on a global scale, not just in art school, but just arts community around the world. It's that interaction that makes art important.
Alex, have you found that the community here has really fed us in a way?
I absolutely think so, especially because of how long we've been doing this, where at the very beginning, it did feel like calling into the void sometimes. And then in the first comments, it's like, oh, that's so exciting. And then seeing like this, a chat thread that we cannot keep up with is amazing. Like actually, yeah, Deepti, I know that I was nervous going into Discord because like, well, I feel like I'm typing a comment here and then the conversation moves away from it. So I have to delete it all and go backwards. But it's really cool.
And Deepti, remember the days when we would have a live stream here? We go, oh my God, I had 10 people watching. It was amazing.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, looking right now at how many people we have watching versus, the first few streams when we were like talking into an abyss, it's wild. Also, like when, before when we're prepping, we like see familiar faces and that gets us excited. We're like, oh, so-and-so's watching, so-and-so watching. And it's gone across so many platforms like Discord. Obviously, it's so fun to interact with people on Instagram too. And now that we're like launching our TikTok, like that's going to be really exciting as well. So I don't know. I think Art Prof, like the heart of Art Prof is the community, and we want to replicate what it's like, to be in a classroom and give people that interaction and that community feeling, like Kat said. And it's all about community and making that connection. And for us, this wouldn't be as fun if we didn't have that relationship to our family.
Trina says, even if I'm in art school right now, I feel so happy with the resources Art Prof offers. I've learned much more on my own time. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people are discovering that art school doesn't do everything for you. I mean, there's so many little gaps that you have to fill in, I think, afterwards. And that's really what I think is remarkable about what's available online. Thank you so much for the super stickers coming in from Margaret Johnson and another one from RB Dick. You are all so wonderful. Thank you. And Lisa says, noobs in the chat are often shocked that you all read the comments. I love the comments. They're one of my favorite part of what we do here, and they help me figure out what content to make, because most of the time I don't know. What is it that you like about the comments, Lauren?
Oh, I think that the comments are great because all of the things, you're right, all the content that we put onto Art Prof is a collaboration with the Art Prof family as a whole. We would just be making forever crit videos if we didn't ever listen to you guys. Remember that period of time when we were only doing crit videos and doing all those notes? And then people were like, maybe you should do some other things. And so we need you guys. We need you guys to make good things in the world.
We have a couple more super chats coming in. One from Jasmine. Thank you so much. And this is Andy, who's in our Discord, who says, I'm so happy to see you all hit this milestone. Your help, along with the awesome people in Discord, have propelled my art beyond what I imagined I could do. Oh, that's amazing. I mean, the comments I get, I mean, I'm like, getting a lump in my throat. It's almost like when I'm just watching Independent TV.
Oh my
God. He's so, oh my God, guys. So I'm telling you right now, Photoshop, you should learn Photoshop. It's a very good skill. Kat, wouldn't you say that's the case?
Oh my God, Clara.
This is so cringe, Clara. The bottom left,
the lighting down correctly. The
Lauren,
lighting.
you and Kat told me to do it. This wasn't my idea.
No, it totally was your idea. We just made it better.
Yeah. Well, in Lauren, in my case, I think it was a fascination with the abomination kind of feeling.
Well, I hope you will appreciate the way I employed my lighting skills, because do you notice that picture of me in Fassbender? Do you see how the lighting matches?
That one looks the most realistic, but it also looks like the two of you are like in just like a photo center at the mall, you know? The rest are obviously.
I don't care. As long as he's around, I could be in Port Authority in New York, and I would not care if he had his arm around me.
What's wrong with Port Authority?
You should take Clara, I think you should take the next step and now send these to your crushes. Make little Valentines.
Well, you guys know my dream is for Hugh Jackman to repost me on Instagram. I just have to think about some stunt. Like, what would it be? I don't know. By the way, we have a super chat from Kath, who says, would like to send out appreciation to Mia Rozier, who, by the way, if you don't know Mia, you should, because she's been on several live streams. She is our TikTok superhero, has been doing amazing work over there. And she runs comments on Instagram and on YouTube. And she also started as an intern many years ago. And Kath explains she's the constant company to us people who can't make it to the streams on time. Awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah, Mia's a genius.
Yeah. And people said, when we said we were going to start the TikTok, they were like, you guys need somebody from Gen Z. And somebody replied, they have Mia. And I was like, oh, thanks. You think we can't figure it out? Which, yes, we can. We have no idea. So speaking of helping out Art Prof, we hope you will subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Shame on you. And if you already are subscribed, like a video, leave a comment, because apparently if we ever hit 1 million, I'm gonna dance. I don't want to, but I guess at 1 million subscribers, you'll just do whatever. And we do have this third slide, which has been very sad and empty for the past few streams. So we hope all of you will think about that for the future. There is no Discord live stream chat because it's very late for a lot of people on the East Coast, but everybody, thank you so much. This is incredible. I cannot believe we're here.
Thank you.
So thank you. Bye.